intimidates you?
Failing in life.
So, how are you going to know when you get there? How are you going to know? Okay, I haven't failed. This is success. This is what life was supposed to be.
If I don't really lead a life like my parents have, where it's been really hectic, I just want a smooth, calm, stable life. And I guess I'll just have to consider what all's gone on in my life, and I'll decide whether it was successful or not.
Okay. So success to you isn't maybe a nice car and a nice house and all that, if that means work to
Right.
get it.
I don't even want, I'm not looking for a job that pays, $100,000 a year, even $70,000 a year. I just want a comfortable, non-hectic life where I can just be happy.
Is there anything in your life that you would say, you know what, this is worth time and energy, this is my passion, this is something that I want to work hard to do something about?
Well, like I said before, I help with the American Cancer Society, and I know a lot of people that have had cancer or have family members that have died from cancer, and I know it's a huge thing in America and all over the world, so I'd like to contribute to that somehow.
So, when your generation talks about or thinks about, or y'all just talking about God, spirituality, things of that nature, what's the general view on God and spirituality?
I think a lot of teenagers think that it's being forced upon them to show them what's right from wrong, maybe as a fear factor rather than something good and that could help you in life.
So you think parents and adults want teenagers to be religious or spiritual, whatever, so that they'll behave well?
Yeah, I think it's more of parents see it as it could get their kids on the right track or it could help them out in life. And some parents probably do take it to the extreme and are like, you have to go to church, you have to do this, so that turns the kids against church and religion more than if it was just presented to them in a calmer fashion.
Right. So do you find some students some people maybe looking for a different spirituality, one that doesn't have the moral ties or the controlling ties, but just a simple, just a spirituality?
Probably. I know a lot of people probably don't believe that you have to go to church every Sunday and you can just, have a relationship with God and not have to answer to all these people. But you know in your heart that you love God and you're going to do what it takes to be a good person and be a good Christian.
So, if we were sitting in a group of your friends here and I were to say the word church, how would they respond to that? What would they think when they hear that church?
Probably a lot of people think, or people of our age think that church has a lot of hypocrites in it because they don't practice what they say. They can tell someone that they're, they don't drink or they don't, they do things with their kids, they're good parents and everything, but then you see them on Thursday night, drinking or they just don't. So they see it as the people. They're like, why would I want to go if people aren't good, if they aren't doing what they say they're doing,
Okay. So what would they say when they hear the word Jesus or the name Jesus? What do they think of when they hear?
Probably some of the same things, but I know a lot of families don't go to church unless it's Easter or if it's Christmas, So they probably relate it with that. Or
are there other religions that you're interested in? Do you ever kind of, I don't want to use the word dabble, but just kind of try other religions?
I've never tried anything, really out of the normal, but I think all religions are interesting and they can all give you an insight on a little bit more than what you're practicing, So I think all of them are interesting.
So would you say that your interest in religion and spirituality is directly tied to maybe how helpful it is to your life?
Probably.
Do you know many Christians from your school?
I know quite a few.
And what are your impressions of them?
They're really for it. they, they really, the people at school that have organizations and clubs and stuff, they're really in your face about it, and there's a lot of kids that are either really for it or really against it. So.
Okay. Now, those that are for it, so they're in your face about it, do you get the impression that they need you more than you need them? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, what do you think drives them?
I don't know. I guess I don't know. I have a feeling it's kind of like people behind them telling them that you need to go out and you need to tell this many people about, how God could help their lives or something. So they see it as more of a mission to attack you than calmly explain. You know what I mean?
Right. Have you ever seen any exceptions to that? Like to someone who was they just loved Jesus, they were just excited to tell people about it.
Yeah, I've met people like that, but I think those are the more believable people to me, that just come around like they're not looking for something to accomplish.
So what are some of the things that Christians have done to try to influence you?
Well, just regular speaking, just saying that you need to, or you should come to this, and I know at school they've tried handing out flyers and stuff.
Is there anything about Christianity that you think is helpful, is good?
I think all of it is. It gives you like a reason to live, I guess. You find out how God and Jesus want you to live your life, It's like teaches you morals, and it just it's like backs up everything you've always learned.
So what do you think about truth? Is there a universal truth? Is there an absolute truth?
I think everyone has their own opinions based on how they're brought up, what experiences they've had in their lives, whether they're a Christian or not a Christian.
So you think the things that you believe to be true are true because you believe them?
Right, but I'm not like a closed person. I mean, if you believe one thing, I'm not gonna, see you in a different way if you believe something else. If I believe in Christianity and you believe in Hinduism, I'm not gonna be like, you're a bad person.
Do you determine whether or not something is true based on whether or not it works? In other words, this person follows Jesus, and their life has a semblance of being a good life.
Right.
Therefore, following Jesus, that must be true. That must be the way to live your life.
Right. I think that, like that. If you see something, like you said, if you see someone that's a Christian and they live their life like that, and you see that it's a good life, then it must be true. So, yeah, I think so.
Okay. If you were looking for a church, what are some of the things that would appeal to you in a church?
If you have friends or family that go there, common interests, nothing's being really forced upon you, but they put the ideas out there, and they don't tell you this is what you need to believe.
What would need to be a part of a church in order for you to feel like it was worth your time, your energy, your effort? In other words, I'm sure you and just lots and lots of people, they're just living their lives. They're not even thinking about church.
Right.
So what do you think it would take for a church, without being the forceful people that you've already said kind of turn you off from church? What does a church need to do in order to communicate to people, hey, we care about you, we want to help you, we want to add value and substance to your life? How would a church get attention in order to be able to do that?
Maybe if they're there for you in tough times, like they let you know that someone is thinking about you, and like if they need you could just check in on them periodically. If something happened to one of their family members, you could be there to support them and just let them know that someone is thinking about them.
Well, thanks, Heather. We appreciate your honestly sharing with us, and hopefully this will help us, and hopefully it hasn't been too painful for you.
Thank you for letting me do this cool video.
You're welcome. Maybe Lonely Girl will watch it.